The first panel, whose name is Marc Prioleau, who is principal, I should say Prioleau, if my Montreal background will come through, who's principal of Technology Growth Advisors, and he's worked in the location business for 15 plus years. He's had executive positions at Trimble, at Surf, at Jakarta, and CloudMade, and he will be moderating our first session. We'll be inviting up the speakers for the session and introducing them. So, Marc, take it away, as I think they're reorganizing the stage here a bit.
That was good pronunciation. If my family was from France, we're from South Carolina. It's pronounced Prioleau. So,
Prioleau,
but good try. So I'll just invite the panel to come on up while I sort of set up the. Careful now. So this panel is called Everything, and if you look in there, we're talking about 3 topics: everything, everyone, every place. I was a little surprised since Conwar was in charge there wasn't every penny, which is either an indication of his relentless drive to drive cost out of products or the way he looks at your expense reports, and I say that with experience. But this is everything, and the model is around connecting everything and location enabling everything. I was at a presentation yesterday. A guy was doing the history of LBS, and his opening slide was the center panel of the Sistine Chapel roof, God reaching out to Adam. It said, in the beginning, and God was handing Adam a Motorola i88, which I think was the beginning of the LBS world. That was the first GPS-enabled phone. I think Ashu Pandey soldered the GPS chipsets in him himself, and that was 10 years ago. And a lot's changed since then. One of the assumptions of this panel is that location in the phone is a largely completed thing, and that's one of the things we'll look at. And so we'll also look at what happens after this. So I'm going to let the panel introduce themselves, since they'll do a better job of it than I will. So why don't we start, Philippe, on your side.
Guillemette, I'm a CTO of a company named Sierra Wireless. So we are doing business in mobile computing, so this is mobile hotspot and USB adapters, high speed. Embedded module for M2M embedded module, 2G, 3G, 4G, with a complete development kit to create application for the embedded, and also a full set of operated servers to do real device management and asset management and bringing the data from the field to the network.
So one of the comments was a lot of M2M things, and I think a lot of expertise there. Tom.
Good afternoon. Tom Gregor with T-Mobile. I'm the Senior Manager of Operations and Sales Engineering for the T-Mobile M2M channel. So my whole life is dedicated to M2M and getting connectivity to everything out there.
Great. Cindy from Jasper.
Hi, I'm Cindy Patterson. I run worldwide sales for Jasper Wireless, and Jasper has a connected device platform that gives hardware companies everything they need to get a new device up and running, and we sell it through our operator partners to enterprise customers. So AT&T is our partner in the United States.
So we got a little teamwork here. So David Haight from AT&T is next.
Hi, my name is David Haight. I have responsibility for business development for Emerging Devices Organization, and we're a group that is centric to consumer applications and devices and connecting those to our networks. And we segment that through across pretty much every type of device that you can imagine and look to build business development models and so forth to bring those products to market.
Great. And our last one is from Nokia, Muzib.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Muzib Khan. I'm in charge of CDMA R&D located in San Diego. Beautiful San Diego, actually. And as we talked about mobile devices, we would like to share some of our thoughts around mobile devices, how mobile devices are going to go further beyond what we have done so far.
Good. So what we've got here is a number of different people from the carrier side, from the infrastructure side, from the device M2M side, from the handset side, and so hopefully we can get a pretty good cross-section as we look at it. And what we want to do and start is kind of level set. Where are we today? You know, as I said, 10 years ago, GPS in a phone was a pretty rare thing. Now, at least in the people I know who all carry smartphones, and why would you want to know someone who doesn't? We all kind of get GPS in the phones, but are we there, or is there still a long way to go on location services and phones? Maybe Muzib, you want to start with that? Where are we with that?
Well, thank you. First of all, I think before I start talking, there was a Nokia World a few days ago, And there were quite a few interesting quotations, and I was reading through them, and I thought it's very appropriate today. One was apparently 65% of today's mobile devices are GPS enabled, which is a pretty good number. In 2013, the prediction is more than 800 million devices, not only phone, but everything included. More than 800 million devices will be location enabled. Again, just look at the scale. It's a huge, huge thing. Now, not only that smartphones are the only ones that are that we could call them location enabled. Smartphones have got certain aspects, but beyond smartphones, there are many, many devices, whether it's a phone or it's other dedicated devices which are location enabled today. Now, the way I see this is location enablement or GPS enablement or some way of other finding the location of the device is just a sensor. It senses the location of the device. Now, if you expand it further, I think phone or these mobile devices are going to be the hub of many such other sensors that we have heard today, like e-health we talked about. It could be transportation, earlier on in the FedEx presentation, fantastic presentation. There are other areas which we haven't even started thinking of, which could be now looked at as a very specialized area. Let's say, national security, terrorism related, whether there is some chemical being presence, or even health related, is there allergen in presence, or a variety of things. So the mobile devices, since it is personal to you, you could find out the temperature, or you could find out the presence. In fact, I was thinking yesterday that, okay, I'm in this hotel, and most of you are many times a month looking in hotel. How clean this hotel is, how clean the linens are, Maybe one day we will be able to find out, is it suitable for my own health requirements?
But you see the phone is the hub of those sorts of services.
Definitely, the phone is going to be something that you carry all the time, and hence it will be a hub.
What do the rest of you think? Is the phone the hub, the sort of central organizing thing, or is it other kinds of devices?
To me, I see the phone being the dashboard. It's the screen that's going to display to you your information.
Muzib, did we mention he's from Nokia, which makes phones?
I mean, there are others too, but I think it's a device.
Just stating biases there. Okay, I'm sorry, Tom.
So whether it's your home security system or home automation tools, to me, the phone is going to be that display, that dashboard to get that content to you, whether it's your pet, your car, whatever it is you're tracking, whatever that is location enabled, the phone will really be there to just display that information to the consumer.
Is one of the key things. I was doing an observation. I was just wandering about, and I made it a point one day to look at how many people stare at their phones all day long. It's really stunning. What do the rest think? Philippe, what do you think? Is phone the central thing, or?
Well, phone is certainly a key element to display the information, and is a absolutely central rendering device. But also we find location information in pretty all the M2M devices. So car fleet management being an obvious one, and which represent almost half of the M2M. But even if you think about things like payment terminal, in fact, you would not think that you need a location technology in payment terminal, but you need to, not all of them, but you need to in some of them, because the business model is a rental business model. So the owner of the payment terminal wants to know where his payment terminal is. And you find the same thing for routers, for example, where it's about managing the routers, which is an interesting challenging for indoor location services. But the problem is locating precisely where is the router in case of problem. And for that, we need location services too.
Yeah. So Tom, with AT&T, you're looking at specifically, if I understand it, non-phone, other things other than phones.
Yeah,
and Cindy, I know you guys are working very closely. So what are you guys sort of seeing as not the anti-phone necessarily, but the complementary to the phone?
Well, it's just as everyone's been commenting, from our view, the smartphone is the center of the consumer's life and world.
Right.
And that becomes, the center point from everything which they do. And again, I think that's a great analogy, Tom, of using it as the dashboard. And so we look at all these other devices that will build around that experience, and everything from e-readers to picture frames and tablets, and you can just go down the long list. There's probably about 12 or so segments that fall into that category. So when it comes to location services, there's a couple things in addition to tracking, devices, whether it's enterprise for, assets or for personal assets, which are people and family members. The other key element to location is the browser. Mm-hmm. So if you start to think about devices that have a browsing element to it, then location becomes an important element to that device. Today, the e-readers don't really have browsers on them. They love to claim that they do, but they really don't. So location-based services with that device, probably not that important. But if you look at some other devices that become browsing-centric, then all of a sudden, location becomes very important for all types of different applications. And then the last thing, comment has already been made is around healthcare. Healthcare will be very, very important regarding to location. Even if it's a glucometer, let's just say, I think eventually that will have to have location services based in it. And again, I think that'll just be an element of healthcare.
Yeah.